Hi there, this is Michelle from Therapy Works Together, and today I wanted to talk to you about lisps, and specifically lateral lisps. These are very important distinctions to make between regular lisps and lateral lisps. I've spoken about a regular lisp or a frontal lisp in another video, but this is a lateral one. I'll put my straw down. This is a lateral one. This is where airflow is coming out the sides. Now this is important if it's coming out the sides or still coming out the front. If the airflow is coming out of the sides, it's not developmentally appropriate, meaning it's not something that your child might on their own outgrow. So you need to really pay attention. Is that airflow coming out the sides or is it coming out the front? Now you can also hear it because parents oftentimes think it sounds slushy. So let's hear the difference. Hopefully you can hear me. A lateral lisp sounds like this. There's juiciness and wetness on the sides of the mouth, and there's airflow coming out the sides. Sometimes you can, even if you're making it yourself or you're looking at your child do it, you can put your hands here. You can feel the air or even some spit coming out the sides. And if they're making a regular frontal lisp where the air is coming, even though it's instead of saying Sam, it's fam, there's still flow coming out the front, airflow coming out the front, and you'll feel that air coming out the front. So today I want to quickly show you two ways to work on that lateral S so the air won't come out the sides, it will come out the front. And these are two things you can do at home very easily. Number one, the first one is called the flat tire. Now, one thing you're going to do when you're working on the lateral lisp or this S sound to be produced correctly is you're not going to talk about it being an S sound at all. So for this flat tire sound, what you're going to do is ask the child. You do it first, of course. We're always modeling for our kids. You ask the child to make a T in repetition, and then there's going to be an S added at the end. So first you're going to do the T in repetition. Now, if you are listening, actually, you'll hear that when you produce the T sound over and over and over again, at the end of it, there's already a little bit of an S sound. So let's try it again. You hear that S at the end? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make lots and lots and lots of T's, and then the tire is gonna go flat, and we're gonna let the air out. So, and it's gonna be an S. This whole time, because I've asked the child, or you've asked your child to make that T sound and put their tongue in almost the same spot that it would need to be for a correct S sound, which is at the top of the mouth, touching those bumpy spots at the top of the mouth. They're going to position their tongue correctly. They're going to make that T sound over and over and over again, and it will stretch out into an S. Let's do it again. So make one T and notice that you're hitting the roof of your mouth where those ridges are. That's where you should be for an S sound as well. You just stretch out a normal S and not a T. Flat tire. Okay, that's number one. And remember, you're not talking about that S at all, because what happens is if you're going to talk to the child that you're working on the S sound, their muscle memory, all that programming that's in their head about how to make an S sound, which for your child might be that way, is going to sort of kick in, and you don't even want to go there. Don't bring up that S, just talk about the flat tire sound. So that was number one. Number two is, and I held this up before, is a straw. I have a metal straw here because I like to use reusables, but you can use any type of straw. Okay, so this is really to bring awareness to the sound difference between, it's two things, to bring awareness of a sound difference between air flowing out the sides for that lateral lisp S and air flowing out the front for that correct frontal S sound. So you don't want air flowing out the sides, you want it flowing out the front. So hopefully when I put the straw up, you'll hear the difference. When air comes out the sides versus when it comes out the front through the straw, it sounds different. Listen, I'm gonna put the straw up to my teeth. I'm gonna close my mouth. I'm not gonna put it between my teeth or between my lips. Just hold it up to my teeth and blow air out the sides like for a lateral lisp. Still sounds like a lateral lisp. There's still air coming out the sides. But if I ask the child, or myself in this case, to direct airflow out the front, it's going to sound different. So already they're hearing the difference. It sounds a lot louder, in my opinion, when it's going through the straw. Okay, so you want to contrast that difference in sounds. First, you do it for your child, then you ask them to do it. Once they are really blowing that air out the straw, okay, you can ask them to do that flat tire sound. So maintaining that sound that's happening as air is flowing through the straw. Okay, that's very important. Now make sure that nobody's putting their mouth around the straw or anything like that. This is just to create a difference in sound. Okay, and I'd love your feedback and to hear what you think about these two techniques, but they are ones that work super quick in speech therapy. Once you have those two or one of those two techniques stable, okay, you can start working on sounds, the S sound in words or small words. For example, if you're doing the flat tire sound, you can work on words like cats, because there's the TS, or bats, right? But first, it's really important to get that S or the TS with the long S very stable, even if you have to do it 30, 40, 50 times. Let me know what you think. Thanks.